Bonjour. Aujourd'hui, nous allons discuter quand utiliser le subjonctif. OK? Le subjonctif et l'indicatif. The first thing that you have to know is that the subjunctive is not a tense. The indicative is basically what you've been learning as the present tense. Okay? You just conjugate the verb, you're in the subjunctive, you're in the indicative. Subjunctive means that you have put a certain mood on the next sentence. It's usually two parts connected with que, and this part puts a mood on this part. And that's why you then conjugate the verb in the subjunctive. Now, the subjunctive is nearly dead in English, but it does still exist in some small situations, but it's very alive in French. So, in English, let me give you an example. If I were to say, I demand that he be in class on time every day, that I demand put a mood on the he is in class sentence, and therefore I shifted to the English subjunctive, which is that he be. That sounds very strange all by itself. He be in class. No, he is. But the subjunctive mood that was forced onto it by the beginning part, I demand that. In this case, the code means that, not what, not. It means that. So in that case, it forces a subjunctive mood onto this verb. We see that a few times in English. Not very often, but sometimes we do. Okay? In French, there are specific situations that are going to have the first part of the sentence push the second part, insert a mood onto the second part that will cause you to use the subjunctive. Okay? I like to, just because it makes a word, you could probably come up with another word. I like to use the word doven to help me remember those situations. Okay? The very first one is simple. It's necessity. Nécessité, necessity, voilà. All these are pretty much nécessité, voilà. And we have two expressions for that. Il faut que. In French 3, we learn il faut que to learn the form, and it's one of the first expressions you learn, because il faut que, and then you have another expression, then that expression is going to be in the subjunctive. Now remember, il me faut means I need something. It is necessary to me. Doesn't need the subjunctive. You have to have this little que. And you can also use it as a first verb, and then the second verb would not need the subjunctive. Il faut partir. It's necessary to leave. Okay? It's only when you have il faut que, and now we need a full another sentence. Il faut que je parte. Notice how I use the subjunctive. I didn't say je pars, P-A-R-S. I did je parte. Okay? The other one is, obviously, il est nécessaire. Il est nécessaire que je parte. Okay? Oops, can't see that. All right. Now let's move on to émotion. Okay? Whenever I give an emotion about the second half of the sentence, that's when I need to use the subjunctive. So, je suis triste. There's an emotion. I am sad. Que tu ne viennes pas. Notice how I use the subjunctive. There's the il plural form with the subjunctive ending es. Je suis triste que tu ne viennes pas. I am sad that you're not coming to my party. Okay? So you've put an emotion. Je suis fâchée. Je suis contente. Okay? Heureusement, happily. Okay? So then the next one is volonté. Volonté, and it's your will. Okay? So what you want, what you demand, what you ask for. Okay? Anytime you want your will to go on to somebody else. Now remember, you don't want to say, you still can say je veux partir. I want to leave. Don't conjugate the second verb. You don't need to add an a or anything like that. You just say je veux partir. We've always done that since French 1. But if you need to put your will onto somebody else, je veux, so there's my will, qu'il parte. I want him to leave. There you go. Now I've used the subjunctive instead of il part, il parte, adding the e, il plural form. Okay? This is the same with j'ordonne que, je commande que, je demande que. Anything that's my will and yours. Okay? J'oblige que. Okay? This would be opinion. And this is generally in the form of il est and any adjective. Il est, I'm trying to think of an adjective. Il est formidable que tu sois. Okay, it's wonderful that you be, we don't say that in English, we say you are. But anytime you have an opinion at the beginning, okay, il est malheureux. Oh, it's very unfortunate. Usually, il est plus any adjective with que is going to make an opinion. Okay? So then the last one, I do this last even though it seems to be the first, doute, because it's the one that has the most problem. Okay? Normally, you can look for the que and know that you are in the subjunctive. But there's a few expressions when we're talking about doubt that are will push you back into the indicative that you have to be careful of. Okay? So anytime you use doubt, then you are going to put that. If you say je doute qu'il parte. Okay? I doubt that he's leaving. In French, this is subjunctive because I put doubt on it. Now, this is where you have to be careful because some things you have to know if they're doubt or not. They might seem like doubt, but they're not. There's a couple that are very similar. One is doubt and one is not. Okay, so we're going to talk about those really quickly. I'm going to add those right here. So when we're talking about doubt, be aware of the following. 1, what you believe, croire, and penser, and what you think, these are indicative. Oh, okay, they are not doubt. Indicatif. Okay? But anytime you take an expression of certainty, so anytime you are certain, over here under the indicative, if you are certain, je suis sûr que, je suis certain que, okay? If you're certain, that's indicative. That is not doubt. Indicatif. Je suis, you'll have a que, but there will be no subjunctive. Je suis sûr qu'il arrive, je suis sûr qu'il part à 5 heures. I am positive, I'm certain that he's leaving at 7, or 5 heures, I think I said. Okay, so that's indicative. Don't use subjunctive, even though it looks like it's got the form with il est and a que. Don't use subjunctive because it's an expression of certainty. Okay. However, if you take an expression of certainty and you then, if you take an expression of certainty and you make it negative, négatif, or une question, you now have doubt. Watch. Il est certain qu'il devienne. It is certain that he is going to become, okay, the president. Okay, if you change this and make it negative, il n'est pas certain See how suddenly it implies doubt. So, il n'est pas certain qu'il devienne. So when I go from he is certain, it is certain that he will become the president, to it is not certain. See, I've made it negative. I've taken certainty, made it negative. That's doubt. So that's when you end up with these subjunctive phrases. Okay, il n'est pas sûr. It's not sure. Also, if I make a question, est-il certain? Is it certain that he will become the president? Est-il certain qu'il devienne le président? So when you take a croire, penser, or expression of certainty, those become subjunctive. So they're normally indicative, but when they're negatives and questions, they become subjunctive. Okay? Another couple that you have to be aware of are il paraît que and il semble que. These are both often translated as it seems that. But this is it appears that, and this is it seems that. This one to a French person implies doubt, subjunctif, and this one to a French person implies certainty because it appears that way, okay? And so this one is indicatif, and this one is subjunctif. You just have to memorize that, okay? Two others that are like that. Il est probable, it's probable. To French people, this does not imply certainty, or this implies certainty, or does not imply doubt, so it's indicative. Il est possible, it's possible, implies doubt, so this is going to be subjunctive. And you'll just have to memorize those, that they're different, okay? So those are the special little things you have to learn about the doubt. Now, maintenant, vous avez des exercices et vous pouvez essayer les exercices pour savoir quand utiliser le subjonctif et quand utiliser l'indicatif. Au revoir!